As a young lady or as a woman, if your blood group carries a rhesus negative by which I mean if you are O negative, A negative, B negative, AB negative, you guys stay very, very careful around guys, around men whose resource negative, whose resource factor in their blood group is positive. If you are resource negative, be careful around guys or men who are positive, that is O positive, A positive, B positive, or even AB positive. Now, it is not that you should be scared or being unnecessarily careful. What we don't want is that if you carry a baby, if you are pregnant as a resource negative woman for a man who is resource positive, and your baby takes after the resource positivity of the dad, then during the period of pregnancy and especially around delivery, either it's natural delivery or cesarean section, your blood and your baby's blood that is already taken after the positivity of the dad can mix together and cause some set of reactions in you that will not harm you, but that will have the tendency to harm your subsequent pregnancies, especially if these subsequent pregnancies also take after the blood group positivity of their dad, because you are a resource negative blood group person. So usually we would say, once you get pregnant, you are resource negative and your husband is resource positive. Once you get pregnant, in very standard settings, there's this injection we want to give you around 28 weeks gestational age. And we give you the second dose immediately you deliver, or maximum, latest, by 72 hours, within 72 hours of delivery, so that it will help us to help you to stop a progression of this reaction that we wait for subsequent pregnancies. But if you are lucky and the baby takes after your resource negativity, you are O negative, you are B negative, and your baby is O negative or B negative, whatever it is, then that reaction will not occur. How does this reaction that occurs in you that will not affect you, how does it affect subsequent pregnancies? Number one, the baby that you are carrying, the packed cell volume, the blood level will be very, very low. That is even in the womb. This can lead to stillbirth. This can lead to miscarriages. This can lead to fluid overload in the baby. What in medical terms we call hydrops fetalis. A baby with hydrops fetalis usually will not make it. Usually will not make it. Even if the baby is born alive, they usually do not make it through life, through the neonatal period. That is one. Number two, that is for the baby in the womb. Now, for those who escape stillbirths or miscarriages, once they are born, they are at a very high risk of low blood volume or of low packed cell volume. It means as a newborn baby or as a premature baby, they may need to be transfused. Again, because their red blood cell is immobilizing, their red blood cell is breaking down so rapidly because of that reaction that has already kickstarted in you from the first pregnancy for which you had this reaction. This baby that is immobilizing very rapidly, that is breaking down our blood cell very rapidly, red blood cell very rapidly, will also come down with severe jaundice that may lead to brain damage, and you don't want to have a baby or a child going through life with brain damage. It can be so bad, there's this medical term that we'll call it connecterus. It can be that bad. It means that jaundice just comes. It is so severe. It shuts down the neurodevelopmental, ability of your baby, and we don't want that. So this is the advice. Yes, initially I said be careful. If you are O negative, B negative, AB negative, A negative as a woman, I said be careful around men that are O positive, B positive, A positive, and AB positive. I'm not saying you cannot marry. You can marry. But as a young lady, please know your blood group. If you fall to the negatives, once you get pregnant, register for antenatal. If for any reason you want spoil the belle, as you dey spoil the belle, you go need to take the injection wey go help us stop or prevent that reaction. So in cases of abortions, in cases of miscarriages, you will need to take this injection. This injection is called rhogam. Premature deliveries, you will need to take this injection. You carried your pregnancy to term, you will need to take this injection. Usually, we want to do some series of tests, but where we don't have a standard setting where those tests can be done once you get pregnant, and you've had a baby that is positive and you are negative, and you've taken this injection called rhogam for subsequent pregnancies, at around 28 weeks gestation, we will give you a first dose of rhogam injection. Within 72 hours, immediately after delivery to maximum 72 hours after delivery, we'll give you another rhogam injection so that it will prevent, this reaction in you such that it will not affect subsequent pregnancies. But if you are lucky in quotes and your baby now takes your blood group down to the rhesus factor, which is the negative factor, you won't need that rhogam for that index pregnancy and delivery. The bottom line is this: for everything that you need to take care of in your health as a lady of reproductive age group, you must know your blood group. If you are a rhesus negative blood group person and your guy, your man, is a rhesus positive individual, stay close to your doctor. Rhogam must be your friend, because we don't just want you to have a baby. We want you to have a baby that is alive and well. We don't just want you to be pregnant. You don't just want to be pregnant when you settle down in marriage, when you are ready to have your babies. We want your pregnancies to lead to deliveries of healthy baby. We don't want stillbirth. We don't want miscarriages. We don't want hydrops vitalis. We don't want jaundice. We don't want to transfuse a premature baby, or even a baby that was delivered at term, because of these things that may come as mistake, or that may just be by way of not having a knowledge of these things. Cheers. I would see you in the next video. Bye.